how you feel right now. When you're ready on your inhale, taking the arms up, and as we exhale to fold over the legs. Inhale, half lift. Plant the hands, step or jump back on your breath, a flow. Find a shape that's comfortable for you. Skip this part if you want to. We'll meet in downward facing dog. When you're ready, I'm going to invite you to drop your elbows down to the floor as we come into this dolphin shape or forearm balance. We're going to walk our feet in towards our chest, I guess. But I'd like you to start by pressing your heels down to the mat. So just walk the feet in as far as you can so you can have flat feet. Push the floor away, and then we're going to come high into the balls of the feet. So you might need to step them back a little bit. Take a deep bend in the knees and try to get your belly to touch your thighs. And then when you're ready again, we're going to come flat feet. So maybe we're going to shift a little bit further forward over the elbows, hug the lower ribs, push the floor away. And when you're ready, step back into forearm plank. Bring our left forearm across the mat, take our right arm to the ceiling as we roll to the outer blade of the left foot, stack the feet. Maybe the top arm comes over the ear, maybe your elbow and knee meet. Come to the other side when you're ready. Right forearm to the floor, roll to the outer blade of the right foot. Maybe the feet are stacked, maybe not. Top arm over the top if you like. Maybe elbow and knee tap. And you're ready, coming back into your forearm plank. Lower the hips down, untuck the toes into Sphinx pose to our back bend. Breathing into the lower belly. When you're ready, exhale, lowering down. Taking the left arm out wide as we come into our shoulder stretch into broken wing. So rolling over onto the left hip. Maybe your right foot comes behind your left knee. Maybe your right hand comes into a half bind behind you. If you're comfortable, you might choose to pistol grip your big toe of your top foot. Extend the leg towards the ceiling. This might be comfortable for you, it might not. It's not necessary. It's just a little added stretch in this shape. When you're ready, if you are pistol gripping the top leg, let it come back down. We're going to roll over onto our belly as we come to the other side with the right arm out wide. Maybe left foot behind the right knee. Maybe left arm into a half bind. Again, you're very welcome to stay exactly as you are. It's focusing on the breath and the stretch through the front body. And maybe choosing to pistol grip that top leg and extend towards the ceiling. You want to try and roll the hips forward as much as we can. We're trying to keep the hips stacked. When you're ready, if you are pistol gripping, we'll release the leg, rolling back over onto the belly. Sits bones to heels into our child's pose. Taking a deep breath as we relax the shoulders. And when you're ready, coming into downward facing dog, tuck the toes, inhale right leg to the ceiling, take a bend in the knee as we open into the hip. We're going to take wild things. We're going to drop our right foot back down behind the back of our left knee, lifting through the heart. Turning the heart towards the ceiling. When you're ready, come back through center, drawing the right knee into the chest, placing the shin bone across the top of the mat as we come into pigeon pose, Ekapada Raja Kapotasana. You guys know I love to say that one. So you might like in your half pigeon to fold forward and come down onto your forearms. You might go all the way down to the floor. You might have a cushion or a pillow underneath your head. I know some of you might like to come up in this shape and take a hold of your back foot. So you might bring your right hand to where your left hand usually sits, and then use your left hand to hold your left foot. There's a few of you that will come into the bind where we take the foot into the elbow crease, reaching the right arm up and back as we take hold of the left hand. When you're ready, release any variation you might have. Extend the right leg up and back. Just stretch out through the leg however it's comfortable for you to move through your hips. Maybe there's a sway of your hips from side to side. And we'll do the left side when you're ready. So inhaling, left leg comes up. We take a bend in the knee and we're taking Wild Thing first. So when you're ready, we're going to drop the left big toe down behind the back of the right knee, pressing into the ball of the left foot and the right foot, lifting through the heart, reaching the top arm up and back maybe. When you're ready, find your way back into three-legged dog. Then bringing the left shin bone across the top of the mat for our half pigeon. Right leg is stretching back behind you. No pressure into the knee. Trying to keep the hips maybe evenly away from the floor. Different options for different people. Some people prefer to lift the hip up and focus on the front shin being parallel. That doesn't work for my hips, so I stay with the knee a little, the heel a little closer to the hips. Again, you can stay down or you can come up if you like. You can take the bind if you want to, if you did so on the other side. Lifting through the heart, steadying the breath. When you're ready, releasing. Take it back to three-legged dog and extending again out through the left leg. Placing the foot down to the floor. When you're ready, we'll drop our knees. Coming to a seated shape as we bring our sits bones to our heels and letting our hands rest in the lap. So if sitting on your shin bones is not comfortable, you can sit cross-legged, of course. Taking a nice long spine. I'm going to invite you into some pranayama. If this isn't comfortable, you don't need to practice. I'm going to invite you to bring your right hand to your face. And then we're going to press our right thumb to the right nostril and close the right nostril. And breathing with rapid breath through the left nostril. So in and out quite quickly, moving the belly forward and back. Breathe all the way out on the exhale. Long breath in. You might choose to hold the peak of your inhale for a moment and drop into what we call the void. And then breathing out through the mouth if you like. Maybe let yourself sit for a moment just to feel the effects of that breath. If you chose to participate, you can always say no. And when you're ready, I'm going to invite you to do the same thing on the left side. So bringing the left hand towards the face, using the thumb, taking a cleansing breath, and then placing the thumb onto the left nostril, closing off the left nostril, breathing in and out through the right side with rapid breath, feeling the belly moving forward and back, using our abdominal muscles, really focusing on the exhale, letting the inhale be a natural response. When you're ready, breathe all the way out. Then long, deep breath in. Fill all the way up to the top collarbones. Maybe pause at the peak of the inhale, no breath. When you're ready, breathing out of the mouth. Again, just sitting, allowing yourself to feel or experience whatever it might be going on for you. And when you're ready, I'm going to invite you to sway your shin bones to the right side. So your right ankle is resting in the sole of your left foot. Right hand holds onto the right ankle. We inhale, left arm to the ceiling, and we take the lean over to the right. Staying grounded through the left hip. On an inhale, coming back up, we're going to take a twist. So we're going to bring our left hand behind us, our right hand onto our left knee, and turn. Encourage you to really lift your heart here. Push down through the sits bones. When you're ready, you come back to center. You're going to swing the legs all the way out in front and then bring them over to the left side. So now your left foot or your ankle is resting in the sole of your right foot. Left hand holds on to left ankle, inhale, right arm comes up, and we take our lean over to the left. Coming into the right rib cage, into the right side of the body. Long, deep breath. Coming into the twist when you're ready. So coming out to the right side as we take our right hand behind us, left hand onto our right knee. Again, lifting through the heart here, feeling the breath. And when you're ready, I'm going to invite you to swing both legs out in front. We're going to take a forward fold into Paschimottanasana. So shifting the sits bones back a little, maybe take a bend into your knees if you want to. Sit yourself on a block if you like. Then folding ourselves over the legs. And I really invite you to be comfortable. So I'd like to invite some softness as we observe sensation. So when I take this shape, every now and then as I feel that I've started to release a little bit of tension, a little bit of gripping, I take a deeper breath into the lower belly and I inhale, lengthen my heart forward a little more and fold a little deeper. You might choose to do this as well, you might not, you might just stay in your forward fold. Invitation is to keep lengthening the spine forwards. I'll often remind you or say in class that as a directional cue, and I've only ever seen one person do this, but bringing the crown of the head to touch the top of the feet. I've only ever seen one person in my life actually manage to do that. When you're ready, as we inhale, coming up. Beautiful. I invite you to drop your right ear over towards your right shoulder. Drop your left ear to your left shoulder. And in your own time, rolling onto your back. I'm just acknowledging my son. Placing the soles of the feet to the floor, the knees pointing towards the ceiling, feet are hips distance apart. Remember, you can always check with your eyes if you're not sure, so you should be able to see the outer blades of your feet on the outer edges of your hips. As we inhale, lifting through the heart, keeping the hips down initially, and then as you exhale, lifting the hips up. Pushing through the feet, focusing the breath. Today, I'm going to invite you to focus your breath into your side ribs and the front body of the ribs rather than deep into the belly in your bridge pose. So if you press through the feet, maybe interlacing the hands and walking the shoulders under a little more, then really focusing the breath through the fronts of the ribs and the outside edges of the ribs. See if we can keep the lower belly contained for core strength. When you're ready, on your exhale, lowering down to the mat. Take a moment just to rest and let the spine settle again. And you might like to start to circle your knees or sway your knees or any little movement for your lower lumbar spine or your pelvis. And when you're ready, extending nice and long, reaching the feet out in front, arms behind you, take a stretch. And then bringing the arms down by our sides. I invite you to hug both knees in towards the chest, pressing the lower back down into the floor and maybe rock from side to side. Just holding onto the fronts of the shins. Stay there if you like, or take happy baby pose as you hold the outer blades of the feet, elbows on the insides of the knees. Keep lengthening the spine out if that's comfortable for you. If not, then let the pelvis roll up. If you're comfortable, you might choose to pistol grip your big toes and take wide legs. Take them out nice and long. Here I'm really focusing on trying to get my toes to touch the floor and keeping my lower back pressing down into the mat. And I'm really trying to close the gap of my hamstrings. I'll talk about that another time. When you're ready, I'm going to invite you to hug your right knee into the chest, stretch the left leg out in front, and then interlace the fingers on the back of the right leg. And again, that L shape as we began the practice with, pushing the leg into the fingers, and then maybe choose to start to engage with your lower back, press it down into the floor, and then start to draw the right leg in towards the chest, Continue to use the hands if you want to, or release the hands and see if you can just use your strength of your thigh and your lower belly. Maybe for an extra little breath at the end, pistol grip the big toe if it's accessible and draw the leg in a little closer. Then when you're ready, extend the leg out in front. Change sides. We're going to hug the left knee in. Interlacing the fingers on the back of the left thigh. So again, starting by really using the thigh muscle to push the leg away from you. Pressing the lower back down into the floor, creating our L shape. Nice. And then you might like to bring the leg in a little closer. Again, continue using the thigh, use the lower belly. The hands can be there or not, up to you. You see if you can draw that left leg in a little closer. Nice. If it's comfortable to reach up and pistol grip the big toe for the last breath or two, maybe adding a little more of the stretch, but again, try to keep that hamstring closing. I'll talk about that a bit more another time. I'll do a little hamstring 10-minute practice, I think, because we don't want to be, there should be no pulling down at the insertion point down towards your sits bone. There should be no pulling pain down there. I know for most of us there has been in the past. When you're ready, we'll extend both legs forward, arms down by our sides, taking a deep breath in, a long breath out. Making our way into Shavasana. So if there's anything else that you would like to do, if you would like another twist or anything, please feel free. So I invite you to make your way onto your backs. If you prefer Shavasana in a seated shape, then you're welcome to come up into a seat. Relaxing and softening into our toes. Softening the whole body. Maybe observing your breath as it starts to soften. You might like to stay exactly as you are, lying down and resting. If there's nowhere that you need to be or nothing that you need to do, then please feel free to stay longer. Observe yourself in this moment. If you prefer to finish your practice seated, then you might like to make your way into an upright seat. Staying in a moment of meditation for a short while. Again, just continuing to observe without judgment. Inviting yourself to rest. If you like, taking a couple rounds of lion's breath, releasing any toxins from deep in the belly, breathing in through the nose and sticking the tongue out as you exhale. I thank you for your time today. And thank you for joining me on the mat again. I cannot wait for us all to be back in the studio together. See you soon. Bye.